I have got a Aprilia Habana 50cc. I put a 70 kit on it last year, and as with those bikes, the scooters with the petrol tank under the floorboards and that silly little vacuum pump, it struggles to get fuel properly, especially if it's sat for a while. And now it's got a 70 kit, it's sucking the carburetor dry once you start rattling on a bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit this pump, electric pump, as you can see there. Yeah, it's 2 to 5 psi and 12 volts, and that will be directly linked to the rear light, not the brake light, the rear light when it comes on. I'll put hose on, and I don't know why is that there, and some clips. So I will do another video on the Aprilia Habana electric pump. So you're going to have to take the plastics off, and you are unfortunately going to have to take the seat and the bucket off, because the pump is actually bolted underneath there, underneath the battery tray. So you're going to have to take that off. And then once you've done that, you can pull it out. And it was in there, just there. And the vacuum pipes will all come off, and you're going to have to seal that one off, obviously from the inlet manifold, and the one on the side of the carburetor, which was the vacuum pump there. And now we're going to find somewhere to put the electric pump, and then find an ignition on cable, hot wire, so that we can have it running every time the ignition goes on. It pumps, it powers the pump, because the rear light only comes on once the engine's started, so you can't use the rear light. So I'll show you. Okay, so the pump's in. So I've taken the original fuel line, and I'm using the Y pieces, so I've had to blank that one off. So it comes into the pump, exit the pump, onto this Y piece. So the pump now is feeding this cable to the carb, and the other one is going into the filler hose here. The reason why this is on there, because the guy who's got this hasn't got a rubber ring in there, and because it's under pressure now with the pump, and this for some reason is facing upwards, so it does actually spurt outside there. So I've had to put this old rubber glove on there for now, but it's sealed it. So that's the plumbing of it. And the wiring, there's only 2 wires for this thing. You've got positive and negative. So the negative will just go to an earth, and the positive, so it goes on the ignition. So when the ignition's on, this is on. When the ignition's off, that's off. Is the red and black wire from the fuse box. The red and black wire is the one on and off. Right, let me put this back together and let's see what it was. So just put the seat bucket on, and obviously I need to check for leaks. If I put this down here, you can see where the pump is. Just in there. And if I turn the ignition on, you can hear it. So I've checked for leaks, no leaks. So I'm just going to put it all back together now. Okay, so there you have it. Running. My first time, which you wouldn't have done, as you know, if you'd taken the carburetor off. I think that's all pretty cool. So I've just been out on a test ride, absolutely brilliant. Didn't bog out once you start getting up to speed, where it was using more fuel than it can supply. This has got a 70cc kit on it, so I would recommend fitting an electric pump, because the vacuum pump will struggle to supply you the fuel that you need. But yeah, awesome. Give it back to the customer now.